Hello, I need a haircut, but everybody needs something, so don't talk to me about how I need a haircut. Last week on the Super Bowl, I went and watched the movie Iron Lung with Markiplier instead of watching the Super Bowl because I knew the Super Bowl was going to be lame, except the halftime show. After I went there, I had some weird experiences, and I made a short reel about it on Instagram about how I was missing a penny when I bought my ticket there, and I was missing a penny when I bought the popcorn there, which I assumed was due to this automatic rounding thing, which it brought up on the total on the screen, which really made me curious. So I just wanted to go into more detail about that. I have the receipts, and you can see on the receipts that it's not, like, I'm still missing the penny. Like, the ticket was, I think it was $11.99, and I paid $12 exactly. I didn't get a penny back, but I figured the lady just wanted to keep the penny, which I was fine with. And then when I went and bought the popcorn, the same kind of thing happened, except it was different because it was $12.49 and I paid $20, and I only got $7.50 back, so I was still missing a penny, which I figured just meant, because there's no more pennies being circulated, companies are just going to automatically round you up, and you're going to end up paying more when you use cash. And then I wanted to know the answer if, like, anybody else had this experience before. So I put that out there, and I put that in the video. I was like, if you have this experience, please comment. And I got a few comments saying the opposite was happening, where maybe something was $9.99 and they gave them a 10, but then they got a nickel back. Other people commented, like, where are you living? Because I want to make money whenever I pay in cash, which is reasonable. So I thought this was kind of interesting. So I went and I looked at some articles. This one is from November 17th of last year. So these are kind of outdated because this is when the whole penny thing initially stopped. It's 3.7 cents to make a penny, so it's worthless, which I guess makes sense in theory, but now you have to phase out all of the pennies basically because they stopped being made. So they created a bill, it's the Common Sense Act, which proposes rounding cash totals to the nearest 5 cents. So my whole question was, if this is only happening with 99, imagine what it happening with, like, something ending in 96. Because if they don't want to give me 1 penny back, they're not going to give me 4 pennies back. So this is basically saying, oh, well, if something ends in, like, if something is 9.96, we'll just round it to 9.95, and we'll give you, like, the nickel back, basically. And so that way you'd be making, like, a cent instead of giving back a cent, kind of a deal. Which I found really interesting because I didn't even think that would happen. I just thought, like, you were immediately getting scammed every time something wasn't even 5 cents. Because I was like, well, even if it's 96, like, if it's 9.96, I'm paying 4 extra cents now instead of 1 extra cent now. Which, if you keep doing that over and over again, you will start to lose money. So I thought that was a concern, but then I've seen this. I don't think it's a law yet because it takes basically an eternity to create a law. So that's going on, which I guess is good. So that way it will, the theory is everything will even out. But I'm not sure that, because it's not a law yet, I don't think they have to round to the nearest 5 cents. So I think if a business wanted to, they could do what I was worried of if something is 9.96, you're paying 4 extra pennies, which is basically a scam because you're not using your card, which I don't like. I don't think you should be paying more to not use a credit card. That seems a little bit ridiculous to me. So I think the deal is, well, if a lot of companies are lower, like if there's a lot of 9.96 and there's also a lot of 9.99, it will even out. But I don't think that it will because there's a lot more prices that are 9.99 than are 9.96. So I don't know. Supposedly it's supposed to even out, but I don't think that it actually will. And I think companies, now that they're seeing this, will realize, oh, we shouldn't make things 96 anymore. We should make them all 99, which it's not going to even out if everything's just 99. And this is only with the penny that's gone. But yeah, so if they keep doing this with all of the coins and realize that, oh yeah, it's not profitable to make coins anymore, if they get rid of all of the coins, then they'll have to round everything to the nearest dollar, which has a much larger impact, especially like if something is $9.51 and you pay a 10, now you're paying an extra 49 cents instead of 1 cent, which is a huge margin, especially if you're buying a lot. So that's going to be weird if they keep doing that. And that's probably way down the road. At least I hope it's way down the road. I hope this isn't even a problem because it's supposed to even out. I don't really think it's going to even out because I think CEOs of companies and stuff are going to realize, like, okay, then we'll just make everything round up so that they're paying more, so that we get 3 more cents every single time that somebody pays in cash versus card. And they would never just make anything $10 because then they wouldn't be making any money because everything would just be $10. That's why they would have it at $9.97 or whatever, so that they could be making those 3 cents every single time somebody paid with cash. So, but this actually is kind of funny too. Here's another article. This was also from November of last year. This Julia Doyle person just went around and asked fast food chains what they would do, and McDonald's is saying that, oh yeah, we'll do basically what that common sense bill is going to do and round everything to the nearest nickel, which in theory is good because then, okay, yeah, sure, then that seems fair initially until you think, well, maybe they just changed all of their prices. So, like what they say here is if it's $10.22, they'll only pay $10.20, but if it's $10.23, then they'll be paying $10.25. So they might change all of their prices from if something's $10.22 just to $10.23 so that they can make a couple extra cents, because that's what I feel like large companies would do because they want to just suck every single penny out of you. Kroger wants you to give exact change, which I feel like would be really interesting because who's walking around with like 73 cents in their pocket? Because I know I'm not. And then it gets really funny when you go to this Sheetz place. I've never heard of Sheetz. I don't know what it is, but apparently it's a food place. The convenience store chain Sheetz has encouraged cashless payments. However, one store offered a promotion where customers who bought in $1's worth of pennies received a free drink. And I think this is hilarious because this sounds like that time Mr. Beast tried to buy a car with only pennies, but then he ran out of pennies because there weren't enough pennies, so he had to use like nickels, so he had to start rounding things to nickels. I don't know, that's just really funny to me. So I went to their menu because I'm like, well, if you bring in $1's worth of pennies, you're not getting a free drink. You're basically just buying a drink for $1. But these drinks are like $4.59 base value. So you'd pay $1 and you'd get a $4.50 value. Because they want to get more money. They want to get more pennies, basically. The reason why they're doing this promotion is so that they can get pennies to give exact change. Which, I don't know why. That story is just so funny to me. Oh, yeah, and the big thing why they wanted to phase out the penny is because this says American consumers made only 16% of their payments in cash in 2023, according to the Federal Reserve. And a 2022 Pew, I don't know what maybe that's PEW, survey found that 2/5 of consumers never used cash at all. That's why they wanted to phase out the penny, so that because people aren't using cash anymore, and it's kind of worthless to keep printing or keep minting pennies when you don't need to. And then here's another promotion that I just keep finding this stuff funny. But this isn't just happening in fast food places either, like McDonald's, or I think that's what Sheetz is. I don't know. Or Sheetz. This is happening in banks. And so Dart Bank, based in Mason, Michigan, you don't know how long that took me to say that, recently announced a promotion during which it will give people $6 back when they turn in $5 worth of pennies. And this is just so funny to me that companies are now having to make special promotions only to get more pennies because there aren't going to be enough pennies anymore. It's just so... this whole thing is so fascinating to me that there's all of these promotions being created, and there's all of this confusion, all because we discontinued 1 cent. We stopped making something that was 1 cent, or it cost 4 cents to make it. So now companies are having to do these promotions to get pennies so that they can provide change. And so companies would be losing money. Like with this, they're giving an extra dollar at Dart Bank when they get $5. So they're getting $5 and they're handing out 6. So the bank is losing $1 every time somebody does that. And at Sheets, it's even worse because they bring in $1 of pennies, and so they get 100 pennies. They are giving away a 449 or 449 pennies. They're giving away an extra 349 pennies away, basically for free, which is all because we discontinued the coin that costs 1 cent. So my real concern with all of this is if they keep phasing out these coins, then you start paying more for cash. And when you pay more for cash, you're not going to want to use cash. So what you're going to want to do is get a card. And when you go and get these cards, you're probably going to get a credit card. And there's a lot of people who aren't aware what they're spending with their credit cards. And then they end up having to get charged X per month interest, which will keep going up probably for eternity, just like how you will own nothing and pay everything for subscriptions, like Louis Rossman and then Moist Critical Penguin Z0 or Charlie, however you want to call him, are talking about. Like I just saw one that you can now lease a PS5 for like $10 a month, which, and then once you get to the end of it where like you would pay off the whole thing, you don't even own it anymore. So that's basically what's going to start happening if we keep getting rid of coins, is that you're going to have to start paying everything per month. So if you keep paying more for cash, you're going to get a credit card and you're probably going to have to start paying stuff back monthly, and it's going to suck. So while we're only losing 1 to 3 cents every single time, or right now before this bill gets passed into being a law, maybe you're gaining some money. But that's not going to last, I don't think. So before that gets worse, and before we start losing 49 cents every time we pay with cash, or even worse if they like stop making the dollar bill, if this just spirals, we're going to be in some real trouble. So please leave comments. I want to know if you've experienced this as well. I don't know what to do about it. I don't know, maybe just talk about it, just engage, because the more people see this, I think the more people are going to realize, I don't want to be in crippling debt ever since I'm 20 years old. So hopefully we can end up doing something. Just please interact with the video, share it. I don't even care. I don't care if you like the video. I don't care if you subscribe. I want people to actually see it, because I don't make any money off of YouTube. Look at how many subscribers I have or whatever. Look at how many views this has. I want that to be more, because the more people who see this, the more people are going to start to talk about it, and then maybe we can do something about it. So please share this to anybody. I keep hitting this, and I'm sorry that I was doing that this entire video, but please share it. I want people to see it. Let's start something here. Think of an outro. Is that the thumbnail?